My child, listen to me. I need to speak with you now, not later, not someday, but in this very moment. Don't swipe away. Don't click to leave. Don't tell yourself you'll come back to this later, because later won't look like this moment right now. A danger is moving toward you silently, and at the same time, a door of destiny is swinging wide open. You are standing in a narrow place between what has been and what is about to be. I am interrupting your day because I love you too much to let you miss this moment. Give me your attention for these next few minutes, as if we were alone in a room together and nothing else existed. Set aside every other noise. I am not just a random voice on a screen. I am the Lord your God, and I am calling you by name. My child, I have something to warn you about, and something to give you. If you stay, you will understand why your heart has been so heavy, why certain people have changed, and why your path has felt blocked in ways you couldn't explain. If you walk away now, you will still be loved, but you may walk blind through a battle that I am trying to show you tonight. You have already felt it, the tension in the air around your life. Have you felt that something invisible is shifting, that conversations are happening that you aren't part of, that your name is being mentioned in rooms you've never stepped into? Have you wondered what is going on behind your back? Why does it feel like your favor is slipping away? Why do I feel watched, judged, misunderstood? You've had nights where you lie awake, repeating words in your mind, feeling the confusion press against your chest like a weight. You said in your heart, God, if you see me, if you really know me, show me what is happening. This is my answer. I heard the question you never said out loud. I saw the tears you wiped away before anyone could notice. I saw you trying to be strong for everyone else while secretly asking me, is there something wrong with me? Did I do something to deserve this, my child? I am not here to condemn you. I am here to uncover what has been hidden from you and to cover you with my protection. There is a person, a voice, a presence around your life that has not been as innocent as it seemed. And there is also a plan of release and acceleration that I myself have set in motion for you. So, stay with me. Treat these next 6 or 7 minutes as a holy time, set apart for you and for me. Do not let distractions steal what I am about to reveal. This may feel like just another video, but for you, it is a meeting with your Father. I am placing my hand on your shoulder even now, calming your racing thoughts, silencing the noise around you, drawing your spirit to attention. Breathe slowly and listen to me. If your heart is stirring, if something inside you whispers, this is for me, respond to me even now. Whisper where you are. Speak. Lord, I am listening. My child, I have interrupted your day because I am about to change your direction. Do not let go of my voice now. You have had nights where sleep wouldn't come, where your mind replayed conversations like a loop you couldn't turn off. You would stare at the ceiling in the dark and wonder, what did I do wrong? Why did they change? Why does it feel like something invisible is pressing against my life? There were afternoons when you smiled on the outside, but inside you felt an oppression in your chest, a heaviness you couldn't explain to anyone. You have walked into rooms and felt the atmosphere shift, as if you were being weighed, measured, and judged silently by eyes that quickly looked away. Have you wondered why your name seems to taste different in certain mouths? Why people who once celebrated you now keep a subtle distance? There were moments when you tried to comfort yourself with logic, telling yourself, maybe I'm just overthinking. Maybe it's all in my head. Yet, a deeper part of you whispered, no, something is wrong. Something is moving behind the scenes. I heard that whisper. I heard the silent question you never dared to fully form God. Do you see this? Do you see me? I saw you standing in the bathroom, looking at your own reflection, feeling like you were losing pieces of who you are. I saw you pause in the middle of the day, your heart suddenly sinking for no clear reason. Your thoughts returning to words people said that cut deeper than they should have. I heard you say under your breath, "Why does this hurt so much? Why does it feel like I'm being pushed out of places I was meant to belong?" I watched every time you swallowed your pain instead of responding. Every time you chose silence because you didn't want to cause drama. Because you didn't want to be the problem. I saw you try to carry yourself with dignity while your soul asked, "Is there something fundamentally wrong with me? Am I cursed? Am I just not meant to be happy?" You didn't always say those words out loud, but I heard them as clearly as if you had shouted them. I am not distant from your inner world. I am not a God who only sees what happens on stage. I see the private slaps, the silent breakings, the car ride where you quickly wiped away tears so no one would notice, the moments you scrolled through your phone looking for something, anything that could confirm you aren't crazy, that you aren't forgotten, that you aren't alone. In those moments, when you felt most invisible to people, you were never invisible to me. When your heart was breaking, I was near you in ways you didn't recognize. When you whispered, "If you are really there, if you really know me, please show me what is happening," that prayer rose before me like incense. I took note. I didn't dismiss your confusion as weakness. I didn't call your questions rebellion. I received them as the cry of a wounded soul longing for the truth. I understood the pain behind your words, the fear behind your anger, the exhaustion behind your numbness. I saw how much of your strength went into just getting through the day, into holding yourself together so others wouldn't see you falling apart. I saw how alone you felt even when you were surrounded by people, and how you sometimes wondered if anyone would truly stand up for you if everything fell apart. Listen to me now. Nothing in your heart has been hidden from my sight. I have searched you and known you. I understand your thoughts from afar, and yet I am closer than your own breath. I know the questions that have haunted you. Who can I trust? Why do I feel like something is against me? Why do doors open and then suddenly slam shut? Did you feel like there was more going on than just human moods and misunderstandings? You felt there was a pattern, a resistance, a strange heaviness that didn't match your actions. You were right. There has been pressure in the unseen places, a whisper you couldn't quite discern, a spiritual tension around your name and your destiny. I am the one who is answering that tension now. I am the one shedding light on what has been lurking in the shadows. You asked me to show you, and I am honoring that request. I am about to reveal why certain relationships shifted, why certain opportunities slipped through your hands, and why you felt watched and opposed without a clear reason. I am not exposing this to scare you, but to set you free. I am not revealing this to shame you, but to heal you. Stay with me. Keep listening, because in what I show you next, you will begin to understand the role of one person in particular, a familiar presence, and why has your spirit been uneasy without having words for it. There is a reason why your spirit has been restless around a certain person, a reason you couldn't quite explain why their presence felt heavy even when their words were kind. There is someone in your story whose name begins with the letter M. You opened your heart to them. You let them hear your dreams, your fears, your plans. You shared moments, laughter, and secrets you thought were safe. You believed they were for you, that they were celebrating what I was doing in your life. On the surface, they acted like a supporter, a friend, a confidant. But behind smiles and familiar words, something changed in their heart. Jealousy began to whisper to them. Envy began to grow like a silent vine, wrapping around their thoughts until they could no longer look at you without measuring themselves against you. Instead of rejoicing in your rise, they began to resent it. Instead of blessing your steps, they began to secretly hope you would stumble so they wouldn't feel so small by comparison. They didn't tell you this. They may not have even fully admitted it to themselves, but I saw it clearly. I saw the moment admiration turned into competition, when shared dreams turned into private comparisons, when their prayers for you grew cold and their opinions of you turned sharp. I heard the phrases they spoke when you weren't in the room. I saw how they took the information you had entrusted to them and slowly turned it into ammunition. At first, it was subtle, a raised eyebrow. A small question about your character slipped into a conversation. A half-joking comment that left a stain on someone's perception of you. But over time, the words became more intentional. They began to sow doubt about your motives, to question your integrity, to suggest that your blessings weren't earned or that your opportunities were unfair. In moments of frustration and envy, they even released words that, in the spiritual realm, acted like curses. They're going to fail. This won't last. They don't have what it takes. They aren't as pure as people think. Those words weren't just empty air to me. I heard every syllable as clearly as I hear your prayers. I saw how they tried to take your name down from the place of honor where I had begun to place it. How they whispered in the ears of others. How they tried to erase you from rooms, circles, and opportunities through silent sabotage and dripping suspicion. Understand the seriousness of what I am telling you. This isn't just human bad moods or a simple misunderstanding. This was a partnership, conscious or not, with the voice of the accuser. When they agreed with jealousy, they allowed themselves to be used as a channel for the accusation against you. They smiled to your face, but carried a dagger of words behind your back. They nodded when you spoke, but rolled their eyes when you left. They comforted you to keep access to your heart while feeding narratives about you to others to secure their position. They tried to close doors that I had opened, to poison the favor I had placed upon you, to write your story in the minds of others before you had the chance to speak for yourself. They said things like, "You don't really know them," or "Just be careful with them," planting seeds of distrust that you couldn't see, but you felt in the way people began to interact with you. I must tell you clearly, this was not harmless. These were not just opinions. Words like those build altars in the invisible realm, altars of suspicion and rejection. They tried to build an altar of accusation with your name on it. However, even while they were doing this, I was watching, weighing, and moving. You were not unprotected, even when you weren't aware. You have asked why certain relationships suddenly cooled, why people who once loved your presence began to keep their distance, why opportunities slipped away without a clear explanation. You asked me what you did wrong. Listen to me, what you were feeling wasn't just a social shift, it was spiritual resistance. Someone was feeding a fire behind your back. They were digging a pit, crafting a narrative, trying to write a version of you that justified, pushing you to the edges. That is why the atmosphere around your name felt heavier. That is why your spirit felt restless after conversations you couldn't logically blame. Your discernment wasn't broken, it was alert. You didn't know the details, but your spirit reacted to the toxins in the air. I am revealing this not to make you bitter, but to make you wise. I am lifting the veil so you understand that what has been happening to you has been more than a random disappointment. There has been an intentional attempt to erase you, diminish you, and delay you. But listen closely. The one with the M in their name, the one who thought their silent words would redefine your story, will not have the final say. Their influence is limited. Their reach is not beyond my arm. Their schemes are not bigger than my counsel. You need to feel the weight of this moment. These next few minutes aren't entertainment, they are evidence being presented before you. If you walk away now, you will go back to walking in environments without the clarity I am trying to deliver to you. Stay with me. Let me finish what I am revealing. If something in you recognizes this pattern, if faces and conversations are coming to mind, agree with me even now. Speak in a low voice, Lord. Expose what is hidden against me. Expose every hidden plan against me. Add your amen as a seal. This isn't about attacking a person, This is about cutting off a strategy. I am showing you the knife so I can take it out of their hand. I am exposing the pit so I can reverse who falls into it. What they plotted in secret is already before my throne. And in what I will say next, you will see how I have been moving in your defense long before you knew there was a battle, while their words moved in the shadows. Your case was already before a higher court. Long before you knew there was a plot, I brought your name into my presence. In the court of heaven, where nothing is hidden, I exposed the accusations that had been spoken against you. I weighed every word, every intention, every whisper. I examined not just what they said, but why they said it, the jealousy behind the jokes, the ambition behind the warnings, the insecurity behind the concerns. I saw the subtle distortion of the truth, the exaggerations, the omissions that made you look smaller so they could stand taller. I saw how they tried to dress their envy as wisdom, their insecurity as discernment, their competition as care. None of it escaped me, not a sentence, not a rolled eye, not a conversation meant to silently lower your reputation, went unnoticed. In that court, I didn't judge you by their story about you. I judged you by the truth. I saw your weakness and your mistakes. Yes, but I also saw your heart, your repentance, your desire to walk uprightly even when you stumbled. I saw the times you chose humility over defense, the times you blessed. I saw the times you were honest with me about your pain instead of hardening your heart. All of this spoke louder in my courtroom than their accusations ever could. In that place, I issued a verdict the charges brought against you would not stand. I took the list of spoken curses, the subtle character assassinations, the silent vows against you, and I tore them down. Where they tried to erase your name from circles of favor, I rewrote it in places they cannot touch. Where they tried to label you, I tore off their labels and wrote, "My own over your life." I didn't write your name in pencil that can be erased with gossip. I engraved it like gold in the record of my purpose for you, while they dug a pit in the dark, imagining the day you would fall into it and vindicate their suspicions. I was diverting your steps. I let you feel the edges of that pit so you would feel that something was wrong, but I didn't let you fall into it. I allowed certain doors to close, not because they had the authority to keep you out, but because I refused to let you enter rooms where your soul would be devoured by envy, competition, and false alliances. They thought they had successfully pushed you aside. They told themselves, "We have contained them. We have limited them. We have kept them from rising too high." What they didn't see was the other side of the tapestry. Behind what looked like setbacks, I was opening doors in different directions, doors they don't control. The doors they will never be invited to close. For every door they tried to silently close with their narrative, I prepared multiple doors in places they cannot influence. In the natural, it looked like you were losing ground. In the spirit, you were being extracted from a battlefield designed to drain you and positioned for a promotion they never saw coming. You need to understand the weight of this. I didn't simply comfort you in the midst of injustice. I came into the structure of the story itself. The pit they dug is not empty. It is waiting for the pride that built it. I do not delight in anyone's downfall, but I will not allow the schemes of the jealous to define you. I have prepared a table before you in the presence of those who thought your season had ended. This is why certain opportunities are about to open in unexpected places. This is why your name will begin to be mentioned by mouths that were never part of the circle that rejected you. This is why the favor will come from directions that don't match your human network of contacts. I am making a distinction. I am showing that no weapon formed against you will prosper. As it says in Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17, not because you are flawless, but because I have chosen to defend you. You are not at the mercy of hidden counsels and silent group chats. You are under the coverage of a higher decree. Their words have reached the limit of their power. Mine have not. The seriousness of this moment is not in how dangerous they are, it is in how decisive I am being on your behalf. Do not take this lightly. You are in the middle of a divine reversal. In the coming days, you will begin to see evidence that I have been working behind your back as surely as they were. Stay with me. Keep listening, because what I will say next will show you that I am not just defending your reputation, I am transforming your pain, your tears, your hidden suffering into the very foundation of the next season I am building with you. You have cried more than you admit. Some of your deepest prayers haven't been spoken words, but broken sobs. There were nights you pressed your face into your pillow so no one would hear, when your chest ached from holding back the sound, and you wiped your eyes quickly before returning to the world, acting as if nothing was wrong. You told yourself, I need to be strong. But inside, you felt like you were cracking. You felt the sting of betrayal, the humiliation of being misunderstood, and the loneliness of realizing that people you trusted were capable of hurting you in ways you never expected. There were days you moved through your responsibilities like a ghost, doing what had to be done while a part of you whispered, does anyone actually see what I'm carrying? I saw every tear, and I counted them. I didn't look away when you were at your lowest. I didn't grow impatient with your sadness. I didn't accuse you of being too emotional, too sensitive, or too weak. I knew the story behind every tear, the invisible pressure that led to every breakdown, and the memories that stabbed your heart without warning. You thought you were falling apart alone. You weren't. I was sitting with you in the darkness, closer than your own heartbeat, listening to the words you couldn't form, and receiving the tears you didn't think mattered to anyone. You asked me, what is the point of all this pain? Why did you let them get so close if they were going to hurt me? Why does it feel like my kindness is being used against me? Like my loyalty became a weapon in their hands. These are not small questions, and they are not superficial. They are the cry of a soul wounded at the level of trust, identity, and hope. I didn't dismiss those questions, and I didn't say, just get over it. I held them, I weighed them, and I wove them into a greater story that you cannot see yet. There are mysteries in suffering that aren't excuses for what others did to you, but there are treasures hidden in the soil that you watered with your tears. In every season where you chose not to become bitter, where you chose to forgive instead of retaliating, something eternal was being formed in you. You learned to hold on to me when people let you go. You learned to survive without applause. You discovered that your value doesn't evaporate just because someone mistreats it. I have been using what was meant to crush you to deepen you. The weight that sat on your chest, the heaviness that made it hard to breathe, has been pressing roots into the soil of your soul, roots that reached down toward me, not toward the shifting opinions of people. That doesn't make the pain holy. Injustice is still injustice, but it means I refuse to let this pain be wasted. I am not just defending you from the outside. I am rebuilding you from within. Understand how serious this is. If you walk away from this moment believing your tears were meaningless, you will also walk away from a part of your calling, because part of your future is connected to the very places where you have bled the compassion you will carry, the authority with which you will speak life over others, and the ability to recognize the silent suffering in someone else's eyes. All of that is being forged right now. I am taking the same moments that almost broke you and turning them into keys that will unlock others from prisons. You understand all too well. You said, if you are real, don't let this be for nothing. I took that sentence as a pact. I answered it with a decision. I will write purpose into your pain. I will weave meaning into what looks like chaos. I will turn what was used to shame you into what I used to establish you. The tears you cried over doors that closed will water the ground where new doors are about to open. The nights you spent alone, feeling abandoned, will become the oil of empathy in your life. the proof that you can stand beside someone in their midnight and truly understand. This is why these next few minutes matter. This isn't just about surviving what was done to you. It is about stepping into what I am doing with you, because times of it, if you walk away now, you carry the pain without the revelation. You carry the memory without the meaning. I am inviting you to a shift where you no longer see yourself as the one who was simply hurt, but as the one I am healing, strengthening, and sending. Your tears are not a weakness I am ashamed of. They are a testimony I am redeeming. I am drying them, but I am also using them. Stay with me. Let me speak to the deepest part of you that still feels raw, that still feels unanswered, that still feels like it is hanging in the air. Come into agreement with me in this moment. Whisper where you are, Lord. I give you my tears. You have stared at numbers that didn't add up, the bills that seemed to multiply faster than your income, and deadlines that felt like moving walls closing in on you. You have opened your banking app and felt your stomach drop, wondering how long you can keep living like this. How many more surprises can you handle before something collapses? You have said under your breath, I am tired of always being behind. And a silent fear has whispered, maybe this is just who you are, always catching up, never getting ahead, always one emergency away from disaster. Have you looked at others who seem to move easily in abundance and wondered, what is wrong with me? Am I cursed? Did I miss something? Do you really provide? Or do I just have to figure it all out alone? Have you pretended you don't care? But the truth is, the pressure has worn your soul down. It is hard to pray when you are exhausted from calculating. It is hard to worship when your mind is stuck on how to pay the next bill. You have carried shame over money, feeling embarrassed by what you cannot do, the doors you cannot walk through, and the opportunities you had to turn down because you lacked the resources. You have silently apologized to yourself and others for not having more. I have seen the way financial pressure has tried to strangle your joy, drown your creativity, and make you feel smaller than the calling I placed on your life. I need you to understand something. The enemy has fought hard to keep you from believing I am not just the God who saves your soul. I am the God who cares about your daily bread, your rent, your obligations, and your ability to breathe without constant fear of scarcity. I have never despised your need. I have never rolled my eyes at your requests for provision. There have been leaks in your life, places where money slipped through your fingers faster than you could hold it, relationships and habits that drained what was meant to bless you. Some of those leaks came through wrong alignments, through saying yes to things and people I never asked you to finance. Some came through cycles of fear where you made decisions out of panic rather than trust, running ahead of my timing, then paying the cost for things I never told you to buy. I am not condemning you. I am revealing patterns so they can be broken. There has also been resistance, which wasn't just the result of your choices, but of spiritual opposition. The same jealousy that came against your name also came against your provision. Because the enemy knows that a person who is free from constant survival mode can be dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. If you are always tired of chasing money, you have less energy to chase your destiny. So, it tried to keep you on a short leash of scarcity, using delays, closed doors, unexpected expenses, and dry opportunities to make you believe I am withholding something from you that I cannot be trusted to sustain you. However, even in the tightest moments, I sent help in ways you didn't expect. Resources appeared at the last minute, just enough to get you through. Those were not accidents. Those were signs that even in a disputed area, my hand has been present. But listen to the seriousness of what I am saying now. I am not content with you just barely surviving. I am breaking a yoke, not just paying a bill. I am shifting you from a posture of constant fear to a posture of trust and strategy. I am teaching your hands to handle resources with wisdom, your heart to hold money without being owned by it, and your mind to break agreement with lies that say, "This is all you will ever have. This is the ceiling over your life." I am opening streams you didn't see, opportunities that honor your integrity, and doors where you don't have to compromise who you are to receive what you need. Provision will come not just through sudden miracles, but through reordered priorities, healed boundaries, and steps of obedience that seem small, but unlock greater things. I will show you what to let go of, what to stop financing, what to walk away from, and I will also show you where to sow, where to invest your time, your skill, and your energy. Do not dismiss this as just talk. The way you respond in this area will shape how quickly the next season unfolds. If you keep agreeing with the identity of the one who is always broke, you tie yourself to a story I didn't write. If you dare to agree with me and say, "I am provided for. I am entrusted with resources. I am not abandoned in this area," you move out of the accusation and into the alignment. Even now, if you feel this pressure weighing on you, respond. Whisper it, "Lord, break the spirit of scarcity in my life." Scarcity will not define me. This isn't just about your wallet, it's about your freedom to live, to give, and to walk in the calling I have for you, without chains rattling at your ankles every time you try to take a step. You've felt it in your own body and in the atmosphere of your home, the fatigue that never lifts, the illness that seems to come back in cycles, the anxiety living behind your ribs, the tension that rises in your house for no clear reason. You've seen the patterns repeat, arguments that always seem to end the same way, silent treatments that drag on for days, children drifting away, spouses or relatives shutting down, cycles of addiction or depression that feel older than you are. Have you looked at your family and thought, is this just how it will always be for us? Is there something wrong with our bloodline? Is there a curse on us? Have you tried to brush it off as a coincidence? But deep down, you've wondered, why does the same brokenness appear in different generations? Why do the same wounds keep reopening in different people? I have heard you say, "I don't want my children to carry what I carried. I don't want the next generation to inherit this pain." That cry did not just disappear into the air. It reached me. I have seen every medical report that made your heart sink, every argument that left you shaking, every door slammed, every sleepless night spent replaying the words spoken in anger. I have seen you put on a brave face for the family, only to fall apart in private. I have not been absent from that story. What you are fighting is not just flesh and blood. There are spiritual patterns that have walked through your family line agreements made in pain. Words spoken in rage. Bitter vows like "I will never trust anyone again." "All men are the same." "Love always leaves." "Nothing ever works out for us." These phrases became the tracks upon which your family's history has run. The enemy has used trauma and disappointment to build highways of fear, rejection, and self-sabotage through your house. But I tell you clearly, it does not have to continue. In me, the curse can be stopped. I allowed you to see and feel these patterns not to crush you, but to make you a breaker for your generation. I am reaching my hand out to your lineage, to the history behind the history, to things that happened before you were born, and to choices made in your own life. I am not shaming your family. I am healing it. I am touching your nervous system, your mind, your hormones, your heart, your memories. I am healing not just the sickness in the body, but the sickness of hopelessness that says, "This is all there is." I bore stripes for your healing, and that healing is not limited to strangers in stories you hear. It is for you, for your house, where there has been constant shouting. I am releasing the possibility of calm, where there have been walls of silence. I am releasing the courage to have honest conversations soaked in grace, where addictions have ruled. I am releasing the power to say no and the support to stand firm, where your body has carried the weight of stress for too long. I am releasing rest that goes deeper than sleep. Do not take this lightly. These are not just pretty thoughts. These are fault lines in your story that I am touching with my hand. If you walk away now, you are walking away while the knife is in the wound and has not yet been removed. Stay with me for these next few minutes, as if your family's future depends on it. Because in ways you don't fully see, it does. I am marking your home as a house of restoration, not destruction. This does not mean everyone will suddenly be perfect. It means I am setting a new standard in the spirit of your household. As you agree with me, angels are being stationed at your doors, peace is being declared over your rooms, and cycles are being confronted. I ask you to respond not as a spectator, but as a priest in your own home. Whisper where you are, Lord. Heal my house. Say it again until your own heart hears it. This simple act is not about an algorithm, it is about agreement. You are saying with your own hand, I refuse to accept that what has always been must always be. I stand in the gap. I invite you into my lineage, and I will answer that invitation. You have every right to feel what you feel about the one whose name starts with the letter M. The shock, the anger, the confusion, the deep sense of betrayal, none of that is imagined. I am not asking you to pretend that what they did was small. It was not small. They mistreated your trust. They used access to your heart in ways that cut you. They spoke against you when they should have covered you. I saw it all. I am not minimizing the wound, but I am speaking to you now because there is something more dangerous than what they did to you, what their actions are trying to do inside of you. There is a very real, very serious battle over your heart right now. If you allow bitterness, hatred, or the desire for revenge to take root, it will not only poison how you see them, it will poison how you see yourself, how you see me, and how you see every relationship that comes after this one. Unforgiveness is not just a feeling, it is a chain. It binds you to the very moments you want to escape. It keeps replaying the scene over and over, freezing you in the worst part of the story. I am not asking you to call evil good. I am not asking you to pretend that betrayal is acceptable. Justice matters to me more than it has ever mattered to you. I am the one who said that vengeance is mine, not because I ignore injustice, but because only I can judge perfectly without being corrupted by it. When you hold on to unforgiveness, you are trying to sit in a seat that was never meant for you. You are carrying a weight you were not built to hold. Your heart was not designed to be a courtroom where you are the judge, the jury, the witness, and the victim all at once. That is why you feel so tired. That is why even thinking about M can make your whole body tense up, your stomach twist, your mind go into a spiral. I am asking you for something that feels impossible on your own. Release them to me. Forgiveness is not saying, it didn't matter. Forgiveness is saying, it mattered so much that I cannot handle it alone. I place it in the hands of the one who sees everything. When you forgive, you are not releasing them from the consequences. You are releasing yourself from carrying them. You are breaking the agreement with the bitterness that wants to write the rest of your story. At the same time, I am allowing you to set holy boundaries. Forgiveness does not mean you must keep giving the same access to someone who has proven they will misuse it. Love does not require you to stand in front of the same knife over and over. You can bless them, release them, and still choose distance. You can pray for their soul while protecting your own heart. You can be kind without being available in the same way. I will guide you on where to draw those lines. I will show you when to step back, when to remain silent, and when to stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. This is not being petty. This is stewardship. Your peace is not a luxury. It is part of your assignment. If you continue giving unguarded access to those who partner with the voice of the accuser, you will be constantly dragged back into wars that I am trying to free you from. Boundaries are not a lack of forgiveness. They are often the fruit of wisdom after forgiveness. Feel the seriousness of what I am asking you now. In these moments, the direction of your inner life can change. If you hold on to resentment, you close the door from the inside and then ask me why the fresh wind isn't blowing in. If you open your hands and say, I release them to you, you unlock something much bigger than you can see. I am ready to heal deeper layers of your heart, to restore trust, to bring new relationships that honor you. But I will not pour new wine into a heart still full of the old poison. Even if your voice trembles, even if your emotions haven't caught up yet, I invite you to pray with me, Jesus. I choose to forgive the one who hurt me. I choose to forgive M. I do not excuse what they did, but I place them in your hands. Take the bitterness out of me. Heal my heart. Show me the boundaries I need. I trust you to be my judge and my defender. As you say this, heaven listens. The chains begin to weaken. You may still feel pain, but the ownership of that pain is changing. Stay in this posture. Repeat those words until they become more than a phrase, until they become a door. Because as you release what was, you are making room for what is coming, a new season where you are no longer defined by who hurt you, but by the one who healed you and brought you out of the prison of resentment into the freedom of a guarded, yet open heart. You have spent a long time in survival mode, doing whatever you had to do just to make it through the day, through the week, through the storm. You've lived with that feeling of always catching your breath, always recovering from the last blow, always trying to hold together what felt like it was falling apart. Betrayal weighed you down. Financial pressure squeezed you. Family battles drained you. The one whose name starts with M tried to rewrite your story with their own words, and the enemy used all of that to whisper, you are weak. You are cursed. You are forgotten. You are just a victim of other people's choices. Listen to me. That is not who you are. And that is not where this story ends. I did not preserve your life. Defend your name. Count your tears. And confront your enemies just to leave you limping at the edge of your destiny. I have been preparing you. The wilderness you walked through was not a random wasteland. It was a training ground. In that difficult place, the pretenses fell away and the masks were torn off. You discovered who was actually with you. And most importantly, you discovered that I was with you when no one else was. The pressure that tried to crush you has forged something in you: resilience, discernment, compassion, authority that you could not have gained any other way. That doesn't mean I caused every wound, but it means I refuse to waste a single one. You are crossing a line now. You are moving from being the one who barely survived to being the one I send out as a carrier of hope, as a builder, as a voice. You have seen the pit closely enough to recognize it in the eyes of others. You will know what it looks like when someone is smiling on the outside but dying on the inside, because you have been there, and I will use that. Your story will not be a museum of pain. It will be a living testimony of my power to rescue, to reverse, and to restore. You are not the one they rejected. You are chosen, set apart, called mine. You are not the one who always loses. You are more than a conqueror. Because I am standing in the middle of your battles with you. You are not the one who is always used. You are a royal priest, a carrier of my presence, someone through whom I will comfort, warn, and heal others. I am placing a new name upon you, a name rooted not in what people called you in anger, but in what I spoke over you before you were ever formed. You will feel this shift in the way you walk into rooms, in the way you make decisions, in the way you talk to yourself in the middle of the night. Shame is losing its grip. The timidity that came from trauma is being replaced with quiet courage, not arrogance, not a hardened heart, but a settled knowing I belong to God. I have a purpose. My life is not an accident. My voice matters. Take what I am saying seriously. If you keep seeing yourself only through the lens of what was done to you, you will keep living like a wounded survivor when I am calling you to live like a healed witness. You are entering a new season, and with that season comes new responsibility. I will ask you to speak up when you used to stay quiet. I will push you to pray for people who remind you of your old pain. I will give you opportunities that require the version of you that is emerging now, not the version that doubted every step. These next few minutes are not just about comfort. They are about commissioning. I am saying over you, stand up. Wipe the dust from your face. I am not finished with you. Do not agree with the voice that says your best days are behind you. Agree with me that the story is turning. If something inside you is rising up as you hear this, respond, whisper, I step into the new season you have for me. I am not who the pain says I am. I am who God says I am. This is not a slogan. This is you stepping out of the old room of your identity and into the one I have been preparing for you all along. What you do after this moment matters. Revelation that does not turn into action becomes frustration. I haven't been speaking to you just to stir up your emotions. I have been preparing you to move differently. If you go back to the same patterns without a response, the old cycle will try to close in on you again. So listen closely. I am asking you to take simple, concrete steps that open the door for what I am releasing. First, over the next 7 days, start every morning by giving me the first few minutes of your day. Before you pick up your phone, before you swipe through the screen, sit down, breathe, and say out loud, Lord, I align myself with your plan, not with fear, not with people's opinions. Guide me today. It can be short, but let it be honest. As you do this, you are resetting the center of your day. You are saying that I, not anxiety, not the memories of betrayal, will have the first word over you. Second, I want you to write. Get a notebook or a piece of paper that you can keep. Draw 3 headings where I was betrayed, where I have felt blocked, and where I need healing. Under each heading, write at least one situation that comes to your heart. Be specific, even if your hand shakes while you write. Then, next to each item, write these words, reversed in the name of Jesus or redeemed in the name of Jesus. This is not superstition. It is an act of agreement. You are naming the places of pain and then naming my authority over them. Keep that page somewhere where you will see it again. When the enemy tries to repeat those stories just to torment you, look at what you wrote and remember that I have spoken a different ending. In the area of your finances, I am calling you to both trust and wisdom. Sit with me and ask. Show me the leaks. I will highlight subscriptions, habits, relationships, and decisions that drain you. When I show you something, don't argue, just write it down. Then ask me for the courage to act. For some, this will mean saying no to being the constant rescuer of people who refuse to change. For others, it will mean confronting fear and taking a step of faith regarding a job application, ashil, or a conversation about a promotion that you have been avoiding. I will also push you toward where to sow, whether it is generosity toward someone in need, toward my work, or toward something that builds the calling I have given you. Do not give to impress me. Give in obedience when I whisper. In your family, choose one small act of reconciliation this week. It might be a text, a call, a simple, I am praying for you, or choosing not to escalate an argument. Pray before you do it, Lord. Let this be a seed of peace, not another fire. You are not responsible for how they respond, but you are responsible for the posture of your own heart. I am also asking you to guard your atmosphere. Limit what you allow into your mind during this sensitive time. Those first quiet moments and the last moments before sleep are crucial. Don't fill them with the voices of those who mock, gossip, or fuel your fear. Instead, open my word. even if it is just a few verses. Read Psalm 27, Psalm 91, Romans 8, or Ephesians 6, and turn them into a prayer. This is for me. I receive this. When thoughts of M or your past rise up like a wave, respond with, my truth, not with the old scripts of shame. If you feel led, speak forgiveness again. Speak blessing instead of cursing, and then release the situation back into my hands. Finally, I want you to say this out loud at least once a day. I agree with God's story for my life, not the story written by my wounds. These are not empty phrases. They are doors. As you walk through them, you move from being a passive listener to being an active partner with what I am doing in you, around you, and through you. Now I ask you not just to listen, but to speak. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and for too long the loudest words over your life have been the words of others and the whispers of your wounds. I want you to hear your own voice agreeing with what I say about you, right where you are, even if it feels strange. Repeat after me, slowly and with intention. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Say it again, not as a wish, but as a verdict. Now say, every tongue that has risen in judgment against me is silenced by the truth of God. Breathe. Let that settle. Now declare, what was meant for my harm, God is turning for my good. Let those words push back the fear that says, nothing will ever change. Speak this. 2. My tears are not wasted. My story is not over. Every time you say these things, you are not denying your pain. You are dethroning it. You are choosing which narrative will sit on the throne of your thoughts. Do not underestimate what is happening while you speak. In the invisible realm, agreement builds structures. When you agree with shame, it builds walls. When you agree with truth, it builds doors. I am giving you phrases that act as hammers and keys. Say this, I am not cursed. I am covered. Say, I am not forgotten. I am chosen and seen. Say, I am not walking alone. God goes before me and stands behind me. Let your own ears hear your mouth breaking the alliance with lies that have lived in you for years. If something in you wants to remain silent, push through it. Silence has protected your pain for long enough. Now, let sound protect your promise. You have only a few minutes left in this moment we are sharing right now. Do not stray. Do not listen halfway. Lean in. Put weight on these words like someone testing a bridge they intend to cross. I also ask you to respond in a way that leaves a mark beyond your feelings. If there is even a small part of you that knows this word is for you, make it clear in your heart, my story is turning around today, or I am who God says I am. This is not about impressing anyone. This is about alignment. When you choose to accept what I am saying about you, you are writing with me. You are letting your own hand agree with my hand over your future. Do not say, I will do it later. Later rarely comes. You have these moments. Use them. Speak. Come into agreement. As you do, the atmosphere around you and within you begins to shift, because you are no longer standing as a silent target. You are standing as a witness, a partner, a child of God who dares to echo his Father's voice over his own life. This is a holy moment. I tell you this with love and with urgency. This may be the last time for a long while that I speak to you in this exact way, with this exact clarity, about this exact battle. You are standing on a threshold. On one side is the familiar pain, the old patterns, the cycles of betrayal, fear, and survival that have tried to define you. On the other side is the journey of healing, freedom, and purpose that I have been describing to you. I will never stop loving you, but I will not always press on your heart like this. Moments like this are not every day. They are divine appointments. Do not treat this like background noise. You have heard me uncover what was hidden. Expose the strategy of the one whose name begins with the letter M. Reveal how I have defended you, counted your tears, confronted the curse, and opened a new path before you. Now everything you have heard comes down to one choice. Will you walk with me into the story I am writing? Or will you let yourself be carried back into the story written by your wounds and by the words of other people? I will not force you. Love does not coerce. But I am begging you. Yes, begging. Because I see what you cannot see. I see the traps further ahead on the old path. I see the loneliness waiting at the end of the road where you try to do this alone. I also see the beauty, the relationships, the assignments, and the breakthroughs on the path where you surrender and trust in me. If something in you is shaking right now, if your chest feels tight, if your eyes are burning with tears, do not run from that. That is not just emotion, that is your spirit responding to my call. I am knocking at the door of your heart, not as a distant judge, but as the one who has walked with you through every dark room, even when you did not recognize me. Open to me. If you have never truly given me your life, or if you once walked close to me and drifted away, this is your time to come home. You do not need perfect words. Whisper, even if it is barely audible, Jesus, I give you my life. I give you my story. Forgive me for trying to carry this alone. Heal me. Guide me. Rewrite my future with your hand. I hear that. Heaven hears that. And I respond, I wash. Restore. I begin again with you. If you are willing to say, yes, even with fear still present, even with questions still unanswered, then say it out loud. Yes, Lord, I will follow you, and seal this moment in a way you will remember, not to impress anyone, but as a memorial stone, so that your future self can look back and say, that was the day everything started to turn around. Do not say tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised in the way you imagine. You have these last few minutes, this window, this invitation. I am here. I am calling. I am ready to walk with you out of the shadows and into the light of a story that is no longer governed by fear, betrayal, and scarcity, but marked by my presence, my protection, and my purpose. Say yes, and know this, you are not cursed. You are not forgotten, and you are not finished. You are chosen. You are seen. And you are entering right now into a new beginning. Yes, let us walk together from this instant. The shadows of the past no longer have power over your tomorrow, because my light has dispelled the darkness that surrounded you. Do not look back. Do not doubt the steps you take, for each one of them is firmly guided by my hand. This is not a promise that fades with the wind. It is the eternal seal of my love and my protection over your life, your home, and your destiny. Go in peace. Walk with your head held high, and live in the fullness of this new beginning. Amen.